Joe, can you think of any event? What's an event for you that's an emotional event that we can use as a cold open again?
Oh,
I got one in my mind. If you want me to fire away a question,
yeah. What's your? What are you
I was gonna say. How can we do this? We can do like. I mean, I enjoy just casually insulting our guests as they come on, which has been now. I did to Vittorio last week. Joe, what was it like playing at Wembley, Joe?
I don't really remember it, to be honest.
And there's your cold open. Nice. There you go. Nice. Wonderful. I'll do an intro as well. Hello, welcome to this Ravioli show. This week we are joined with another guest. It's Joe Anderton, everyone. This week we are back to discuss. There's some news, but there's not much happening. So other than that, we'll just talk about things we watched, which is how this thing seems to go now. We don't really do a topic anymore. Jimmy, how are you?
That's fine. I was just saying that there is stuff happening, but we don't like to talk about.
Yeah, we just don't care enough about it, to be honest with you. It's just not important enough.
We only have good vibes.
We only have good vibes and good times.
Except for all those times we
get angry at each other and shout at each other and fight.
Yeah.
And
Except for all the times that aren't good vibes.
Yes, and then other than that, it's always good vibes. There's never a problem here at our studios. Other than all the times Dan shouts at Jimmy. Anyway,
Oh, hang on.
That's right. Me and Dan sat in this call just chatting about like basically the news that happened before.
I feel like I shout at you more, Gabe, than I.
Yeah, you do. Everyone shouts at me more. Everyone shouts at me. Full stop. Like that's just how this kind of goes. Should we the Venom trailer happened and some casting news happened for Knives Out, as Dan pointed out to me just beforehand. Joe, have you watched the first Knives Out?
Is that the? No, I haven't.
Okay. It's like a murder mystery. What's the kind of? I'm trying to think. What's the term? There's a writer who people describe the murder mysteries by. It's like the style of how they are.
Agatha Christie.
That one. Thank you. It's kind of like that. What? No, Dan. No, you don't agree.
No, I just think you described Agatha Christie as a bloke is all that I found funny.
No, okay, all right, okay. My apologies. I was trying to think of the name. But yeah, it's kind of like that. I'm excited to see another one.
I like your t-shirt. Sorry, I just saw Dan's t-shirt. That's a cool t-shirt.
That is very cool.
Thank you very much. It's a solo shirt.
Yeah, I like it.
As in, you've only got one. That's
very good.
That's the kind of jokes we bring to this show. Thanks. That's the kind of stuff. And the Venom trailer came out and looks fine. So Woody Harrelson's in a better wig now, which is wonderful to see. Speaking of better wigs.
Okay. We live reaction.
Speaking of better wigs, Joe has. No, I'm joking. I'm firing away. No, I love your luscious locks, Joe. They're great. They work so well. Jimmy, do you want to describe what's this week's background? What's going on there?
I haven't actually seen Invincible yet. I just think the meme's funny.
Joe, what have you actually? Dan, should we just do? Let's lean into what we did last week, which is where we basically we'd all watched nothing last week, and we were like, we'll just chat about what we watched. This week we've all watched a lot of things. Joe, have you been watching anything lately?
Other
than The World Go By.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the midst of just constantly and perpetually rewatching The US Office.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
We all go for that phase at one point, or we just
because there's so much of it that you kind of you forget as well. When you get to season 8, you forget half of what happened in season 2, and you rewatch it, and it's like a gift that keeps on giving. But in terms of anything new, I watched that Two Distant Strangers.
Okay.
Won the Oscar for best short.
I think it did. I'm gonna go get it up now to make sure.
Double check, so I don't want to be spouting that.
We don't want to be giving awards out to things that didn't win awards. Because we didn't do a show entirely based on that premise. Okay. Yes. Yes, he says.
Why are you struggling so much? Why didn't you just Google best short film?
I don't know. I googled the film itself, which was really stupid.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, it did win
He
it.
googled
Yeah.
all of the Oscar winners. He's just going through them.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through all of them. Oh, look, more movies that I don't intend on watching. Yeah, it did win. It did win, Joe. Yes.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And you enjoyed it then?
It's incredible. Yeah, it's obviously very thought provoking and in the midst of what's happening now socially and yada yada yada. But that was really good. My
What did
buddy
you
told me
watch that on out of
to-
interest, by the way?
Oh, Netflix.
Oh, it was on Netflix. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All right, there you go. Yeah, people
Um,
should give that a watch.
And then my friend told me to recently watch Neo and the Dying Girl. That was really enjoyable.
That's one of my favorite films.
Yeah,
So good.
it was. I'm not ashamed to say there was a few tears.
Yeah.
That last bit with the film.
Yeah.
That last
Yeah,
bit with the
that
film,
got me.
did you say?
Yeah.
That
Not the
last
rest
bit
of
with
it.
the film.
No, well,
Not the
okay.
rest of it.
There's a bit at the end where. But
Don't
two
spoil it. I haven't
characters-
seen it.
No, two characters watch like a film
Oh my
that
goodness.
was made, and it's
Oh, right,
it's
okay.
rough. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't realise this has an incredible cast. Like
Does.
John Berthiaume, Nick Offerman. Good cast.
Yeah.
Very good cast.
It's
I
got
love
two people in it.
I love Nick Offerman.
Amazing
For
cast.
Christ's
I have-
sakes.
I have a poster of it. Just,
It's
No,
probably
you just
not-
you didn't point at a poster,
yeah,
Jimmy.
I've posted just there.
That's Carl Weezer.
that Neo and the Dying Girl as well. I said to a friend of mine, it's got probably the most accurate representation of someone like smoking too much weed. Because
Right.
I think in movies, like they tend to like really overdo it, but this one, it just very subtly the way this guy's sort of eating an ice cream at one point, and it's sort of dripping, and he's kind of spaced out. I was like, yeah, that's it.
Like, yeah,
That's the one.
Yeah.
They're literally like two other characters are talking about him right next, like literally right next to me, just paying no attention to it at all. So.
Yeah.
That's just my everyday conversations with Jimmy, whereby Jimmy does not pay any attention to what's going on in front of him. Dan, do you want to? Dan, you've got a lot of things
Me?
you've been watching. Yeah,
I got a few things.
Do you want to just give us one to start off with, and we'll
One to
discuss it?
start off with.
Go on.
The first thing I watched last Thursday, like evening after we recorded the last episode, I watched Rush.
Oh yeah.
Probably. Ooh, is it my favorite Ron Howard film?
Have you got the cover? Because you want to describe
I've
what
got
what you
I've
hate
got
about the cover.
Blu-ray.
Yeah, do you want to show everyone
Right
what you
here.
hate, what you really don't like about it?
Well, you see, obviously we got Chris Hemsworth, who's Thor, and Daniel Bruhl, but I don't know how well you can see that. But the names are the bloody wrong way around. It doesn't line up. The faces. I hate when posters and stuff do that. Really quite annoying.
And it's for that reason Daniel never voted
I will
for
never
that.
watch the film again.
Dan will never watch it again. He owns it on Blu-ray and he watched it last
I love
Thursday,
it.
but never
So,
did it.
for those who don't know, it is about the rivalry between Niki Lauda and my brain is James Hunt, who are both F1 drivers back in the 70s. And it's very good. Yeah, Ron Howard, who's done a lot. Ron Howard loves a biopic, doesn't he?
You know what it really does well as well?
Does so many of them.
It does a great job of capturing like how fucking dangerous it is to drive in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just lunacy. It's like
Well,
we made this car so fast that it's it's ridiculously quick.
Yeah.
But why put good brakes on it? That would be silly.
Yeah,
that would be
was just-
stupid. Like what?
But the score is by Hans Zimmer, so very nice music, of course, as you would expect from him. Yeah, it's just a great film.
Yeah, it's a good time. I think that is one of my favorite biopics, I believe. Daniel Bruhl's great in that. He's really good in that. Also known as Zemo. I'm trying to think of anything else he's done. Zemo came to mind.
Did I not just mention that?
No, you only said Thor. You didn't give Daniel Bruhl. No, yeah, you did. You just didn't say he was.
I did.
No,
I said it in my head.
Right,
and
okay.
that counts.
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard it.
There's a
If you
little
didn't,
after
that's
show
on
we
you.
do every week where Daniel goes through the episode that's just been filmed and explains what he was thinking at each and every point. That I actually would watch. I would watch that. Dan being like, now at this point, I wasn't really paying attention, so I have no idea what the fuck's going on here.
I'm just watching the episode back.
That would be any of the
okay.
things that we make though if we did like director's commentary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I didn't know what's going on here. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's one of the like Joe. I'm assuming Joe, you've always not like nodded with me that you enjoy the show and you watch the show every now and then and so on and so forth. Dan is a co-host on this show, and Dan has come like it's so funny because it's the same to me. Like I won't go back. I'm not in them, but even the episodes Dan's not in, Dan's like, I don't watch the episode.
I don't care.
No, Dan's like, I start it and then skip to the end to give you the view.
I don't blame him though. Like,
I
he wants
give
to hear the sound of their own voice for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Presumably, your conversations aren't that interesting when I'm not about anyway. So why would I want to listen to one?
And yeah, me and Gabe just sit in silence and we're not here.
Pretty much.
Presumably.
Yeah, we just sit in silence waiting on a punchline to come in, and we're like, oh, no, he's not here. I actually want to give props as well thank you to Vittorio, who was last week's guest, who we had a very good show with, and he was lovely and shared it around on all of his platforms, which is wonderful. Because bringing in those 9 views, no, I'm joking.
Oh yeah.
Because it was really nice. It was lovely of him. Yes. So, Jimmy, do you want to give us a thing you've been watching?
Yeah, I watched 2 things this week.
Okay.
Wow.
I watched the first episode of a show called Wayne, which is on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Please describe.
I'll explain like the first episode. Basically, it's this kid whose dad is dying of cancer, and he's kind of this like, I don't know how to explain it. He just like does whatever he kind of wants. You know, he's a bit of a troublemaker, I guess. And his dad, so his dad's wife and this character's his mum left him like a long time ago, and they took his old car, and so the dad was like, oh, I wanted to give this to you when like you're old enough, like, you know, when I die, but obviously I don't have it. So basically Wayne goes off to try and go to Florida from Boston to get the car back. Basically that's the premise. I didn't explain very well, but that's the first episode. It was very unique. Like,
I don't know if that's good or not. Go
no,
on.
no, I really liked it. I haven't got around to watching the second episode yet, but like I think it has like it's like really kind of like new and fresh, you know. I think it like has a lot of like potential to be really good. So I actually actually finished watching it, you know.
Is it? I'm assuming it's just a 1-season thing. It's not.
I don't know. I'll see on the last episode.
Okay,
if, like all the characters die or something.
Fair enough. Yeah. I'm looking here. Yeah, it seems like it looks. I'm looking at obviously just screenshots and stuff, but it seems nice.
It's cool. It's funny as well. Like it's really, yeah. I just to finish it.
Amazon.
Like, I find it tricky on shows when you've only seen one episode, right? Because like it's hard to kind of, like, have an opinion given that you've seen all.
I think Amazon and Netflix especially. I mean, look, Disney are not like when Disney make TV shows, it's different because Disney are.
No, they can't. They're basically just
they can't,
films that happen to be slightly longer.
Yeah, like it's not really fair to compare them. But like Netflix and Amazon are making some really good show stuff. And credit to the pair of them. Like, yeah, they just seem to be making good. I think like if you go back a year or two ago, there was a lot of kind of like not misfires, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of not so great stuff. Now I think they're getting a little more. Obviously this is an Amazon exclusive. I think that leads actually on. I started Jupiter's Legacy. That's a Netflix own show. And yeah, I was talking down about this before. It may look very, very cheap and rip-offy. It's not bad. It's good. I enjoy the story element of it, but other than that, it's a bit. But Netflix, it definitely is better for considering what they were making. Is my point. I think it's nice to see now. Yeah,
it's just mad that the amount of money that are in TV shows now as well.
It's it's no longer small budget stuff.
Yeah, it is like big film budgets. Like you said, they're just kind of making longer films.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think is that there's also now people know like, I think directors now and people are more up for going and making 8 45-minute episode TV series as opposed to a 2-hour film, because you can you got so much more time to play with and everything in that kind of longer. It makes sense. I personally, I think I prefer the kind of 2-hour, story medium, but I get why you'd be like, well, for certain things. Yeah, that one, thank you. But for certain things, like, you need that extra kind of maneuverability, which a TV show gives you. I think, for example, All of the Boys, like, you can't do the boys' storyline in a film, in my opinion. There's too much of it and too much to kind of capture and such. That they're filming season 3 now, is that right? I believe.
I don't know, maybe.
I think it's being filmed at the moment. I follow I followed Jack Quaid on Instagram, and when they went over to film it, they had to do like the 12-day or 14 days of isolation or whatever it was in like a hotel room to film it. And every day he went and made a concert like looking thing in his room, and then would lip sync perform a song every day. And like it was like amazing to see each day how creative he'd get, where he'd be like in the bathroom with the lights flickering and he'd be like dancing around singing, and I was like, this is incredible. So Joe, is that what we can expect at the next show for you? Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
live music's pretty much dead these days.
Yeah,
So,
it's done.
no, in
it'll be
saying
back.
that, no, it's we're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
For live shows from June.
On that point, I was going to say, on that point, do you want to talk about where are you? And well, I was going to say, without you can plug yourself. We kind of, Vittorio did it the other week. He just did it by shouting his Instagram. So, do you want to give everyone a date of when you're doing something next and anything to look out for online and such at the moment?
I guess the big thing to look out for is obviously for the people that don't know, I play in a band with a gentleman called Connor Selby, who is a friend of mine, as you know, and you know fairly well, Gabe.
I do, yeah.
And we have an album coming out this year, and we're releasing singles from it. So have a look for that. Connor Selby, new album, connorselby.com or .co.uk, one of the two.
Yeah, try them both.
Yeah, try them both.
Try them both. See which one works.
You can find me on Facebook, Joe Anderton. You can search.
Or down the road.
Yeah, down the road. Or,
just find him around.
Yeah, or shouting at pigeons in the park. No. Yeah, I think just tour dates coming up. Will be on Connor's website. So we'll be playing that.
We'll leave a link to Connor's website and probably your Facebook as well. I think
that would be fantastic.
I'll get Jimmy to put both of those in the description to make sure that you get the links, which makes it life a little bit easier for some people as opposed to trying com.co.uk. So yeah, go check those out in the description below. Yes, I'm very glad live music is making a comeback. It's nice to feel like the world is relatively back to normal. I noticed certain rules and regulations are relaxing now. I was meant to go in for some testing on Friday and Monday coming, and then the woman texted me, like, because for the thing I was doing, I had to go in Monday, like 2 days before I actually work. I have to go get tested back-to-back days. And then I got a text being like, "Oh, actually, COVID guidelines have now changed. You only have to come in 1 day." And it was kind of like I was like, "Oh, that's nice to see. Like things are very much easing." So yes, go get vaccinated and wear a mask, and we're good. We can get back to live music and nights out and good times. Yeah, all good times. I look forward to that a lot.
I was just gonna say, have either of you guys had your jabs? Any jabs yet?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Oh.
I know our lot are going to be like
we're gonna
we're the
be
last
right at the
lot.
end.
Yeah.
I'm double jabbed.
Yeah. Look, my girlfriend's now double jabbed as well. She's completely done as of yesterday, I think, and she's not doing so well today with it. Did you react badly to any of it?
First one, I was very ill for like a day or two.
Mm.
Second one was fine.
Yeah.
So I think that's just I've heard that if you were ill first time,
you should be alright.
Second one was easier, but vice versa. So
interesting.
Yeah, I think it's dependent on what vaccine you got. I think.
And if you had COVID, your reaction's worse, right? Because your body's like ready to fight it off at all costs because it's kind of had it before.
My
so.
dad had COVID and he got the vaccine like pretty early on, and he was like really rough, but like literally for like 1 day.
Yeah, but it is literally the case of like a day or two, and then you're pretty much back to normal. I'm like, people should go get vaccinated. Go do it. It's good. It can help the world get back to normal, which is wonderful, and we're lucky enough to have it for free. So go do it for fuck's sake. It's worth your time. I actually wanted to talk about. I watched the documentary on the Isabella Gardner heist, which is the biggest art heist in American history, and it's a 4-part documentary on Netflix. I think Netflix do detective documentaries really well. Like I watched the one about the guy who has the bomb around his neck, which I know Dan knows about because I listen to the same podcast as Dan, and it was
Suicide Squad.
Yes, Suicide Squad. Yeah, Suicide Squad, the movie. Yeah.
It's the something bomber.
It's not the pizza.
Oh.
It's not the. It's because he's a pizza man. Pizza man.
Hang on, let me.
Pizza delivery
This will
man.
take a while,
He's
but let
not
me
a
see if
hu-
I can find the
He's
podcast.
a human pizza man.
I
Yes.
know that one. That's just depressing.
Is it just?
It's
Is it just
depressing.
called the neck bomb heist?
I think it might be. But that's a really good documentary. But it's depressing as well, and it's
They're
really,
up.
really
They
bad,
were up
bad
all
people.
night thinking of that title.
yeah,
I need
bad
to-
people. But
They're
that
wrong.
I watched that one ages ago and really enjoyed that. And I watched this new one. So this new one is about a museum in Boston that has been there for years and years, and it's like this really. It's actually really cool. It's like this really plain and ridiculously boring looking building. And then the minute you go inside it, the point was that on the inside it's done in like this amazing kind of like I don't know, it kind of looks like a Spanish kind of style building like around it. Like it looks incredibly like old and amazing inside. And so
Kind of
basically
like the opposite of this show. Like on the outside, it looks really cool, but then when
Yeah.
you actually like it,
it's a mess. Yeah, it's an absolute mess. But yeah, so there's this museum in Boston, and they've got like all these amazing works and obviously incredibly expensive stuff, and original paintings and whatnot. And I think it's like early 1990, I think it's like 93 at like 3 a.m. These two guys dressed as policemen, quite literally walk in like past security or get let in by like the one security guy. They tie him up down in the basement. And then they just go and like rob the place for. And then, by the way, this is how like calm these guys were. They're in this building for 81 minutes, just robbing. Like usually, like robberies happen in like 5 minutes, grab and go. 81 minutes of them grabbing stuff, and they get out and leave at like 3 a.m. And I won't spoil the ending, but you know what I mean, the kind of story and such. But
Can you spoil
really-
documentary endings?
really,
Yeah.
yeah, but like it's not a well-known story, so I don't want to in case anyone wants to go back and watch it. But
Paintings seem like a
go give it a
difficult
watch.
thing to steal.
and
'cause, like,
to find.
They're big.
Yeah, so
Like,
they were
how
made
many
the
of
point.
those can you carry
Take them out the
before it's
cinema
like
and roll
a-
them up.
Yeah, well, no, they say the point.
Oh,
The
yeah.
point of a lot of the time they can't roll them up is because if you roll them up,
Use them as weapons to get
you
out.
like because of how old the paintings are.
Just slam it
You-
over someone's head, come through.
so it's just you into the robber running out. I can't get through the door frame. He's got this massive painting around his neck.
That's like a dog with a stick. Who's
Yeah. So
I think like a
Slamming
massive
it
I
to the
think,
coat.
door.
I think this,
They just had a massive coat and were like,
Just a
hello.
square.
yeah. Or I can just do that really wide. No, do you know what? I think you know Into the Spider-Verse. You know what Kingpin looks like.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's what
yeah.
you would look like if
Yeah.
you're stealing the. But like you're missing something. What about like sculptures? Like what about like
So they
What about that? How
they
they
steal.
steal
I
those?
think they steal. Well, you just have lots of men, or you break them.
But there's
Because
you just
also-
put a coat over it, and the two
You
people
walk it
carry it
out.
out like a drunk person.
yeah.
Oh, it's all right.
And a
They
hat,
have a bit
and a
too much
hat.
to drink. Yeah.
Yeah.
like
What-
Weekend at Bernie's? Like.
Yeah.
Is it in the first Mr. Bean movie where he has the painting and he pretending it's on wheels, so he's walking along, it's covered in a sheet, and he's just
I
going
think so. Yeah.
do that.
That movie is amazing, by the way. They're
That's
fucking
not
great
this is not
movies.
the same, right? Yeah.
So they the reason why they can't always roll it up is because they're older paintings. If you roll it,
Fall
you
apart.
you
Paint
damage
come
all the
off.
paint and the paint all comes off, so you can't roll it up. Also, they're put in their frame by like they're obviously screwed into their frame. So what people would do to steal them is they would often have a knife and just cut them out, like you cut around the edges and pull it out. But you're massively damaging like a million, like
It's just-
millions of
It's
pounds
just
of
no
art.
longer
by just
straight
cutting-
edges. It's all like wobbly.
It
It's
cuts
it's
it like
done
an
real
oval.
bad.
It's like they've done it like this with a little, like just a pattern in the middle. But
It's like when you use a ruler to tear
Yeah.
some paper,
So-
and you just mess it up, so it just cuts down. Like
By
it
the
just-
way,
it
like-
loses it.
security and things in the 90s is a fucking joke. Like, it's amazing when you watch back and they're like, what do you mean these people just... So, the way it worked, there's like two doors, right? So, the policemen have to come in one door, which is let in by the security guy. And then they're kind of in this hallway with one window to the security desk. And you can't get... Like, both doors can't open at the same time. So, there's always a period of time there where you have to kind of explain why you're there and whatnot. This guy, like, I get why the guy lets them in because he thinks they're policemen and whatnot. But, like... That's it. Like, other than that, there is no more security. Like, that is pretty much it. Once they're in that second door, they have literally got free reign of the place should they want it. Like, it's not hard. And when like they go back over stuff, obviously, like they're you know, I'll be honest, the case goes on for a while. So years later, when they're going over stuff, they're like, "Oh, why didn't the guys in like '95 do this?" And you're like, and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't know, they just didn't." and you're like, okay, great. Like, it's clear to me why, like, if you watch a load of serial killer stuff, a load of things, they're all set in that period because detective work just wasn't a thing, or like it was just dreadful. Like things just always. Well, I think Zodiac's one of like my favorite thriller movies ever, and they describe in that as like a big issue is the fact that the report on the radio in the first killing is wrong. They say they're looking for a like 6'2" black man, I think is what they say on the radio, and in reality it's completely wrong because the guy was white and also like. Later recounts like, oh no, he was a white man, and you're like,
It's Ted
like,
Cruz.
how have you?
Everyone knows that.
Yeah, it's Ted Cruz, himself, the actor man. But like, how have you got like your job is that like it's not that difficult? But yeah, no, Zodiac is what a movie, what a fucking
Did you
film.
see recently one of they there's about 5 ciphers or something that from the Zodiac.
Yeah,
And they could only ever crack one or something.
yeah.
They did another one recently because
Oh well.
they managed to use some sort of computer system, but they'd been trying to crack it this way for years, but they hadn't accounted one like spelling mistake or something.
Oh wow.
So they put into the computer that this might be a spelling mistake, and then it came through.
It came through.
brand new
Jesus,
cipher,
that's
yeah.
amazing. I find like that sort of thing, like. If people, I know all 5 ciphers are public, aren't they? Like, because now it's to the degree, where like you can just work it. So like,
It's like a fun escape room.
it's quite literally like, let's find this serial killer from 30 years ago
Yeah, I
that
know,
is
but,
probably
like,
not
dead.
alive
Everyone-
anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if everyone cracks it, like, oh, great, we now know who the Zodiac. Oh,
Yeah.
he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, but no, that movie's fucking great, man. Especially for the fact that it's like a lot of those stories where like you kind of know who it is, but
Yeah.
maybe we don't know who it is. It's kind
Yeah,
of
because
does that.
it's that thing, isn't it? They're like pretty sure that it's the I can't remember his name. They're pretty sure it's him.
Yeah, I can't
but
remember the
there
guy's
is
name
that
now.
air of doubt that it isn't.
Yeah, because
Like,
There's like a few things that like contradict it though, right? Isn't there? Like there's like
Yeah.
a few things that like set up really early on. They're like, oh well, what about this? And that's why they don't get in. It
I
was
always
actually Mark
forget that's
Ruffalo's character the entire time.
Oh yeah, it was the inspector the entire time.
I think it was you, Gabe.
Me, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to do shit like that. Like,
Actually, you know, the thing is like, if I could think of
Don't
any of
put
my
yourself
friends who
down.
like I wouldn't
Thanks,
be
Joe.
surprised if they turned out to be a serial killer, it would be Gabe. Like,
what? Why?
I know you just have that like aura to you.
That
Like,
vibe.
I'm not saying that like you are a serial killer. I'm just saying that like I wouldn't be surprised if you were.
I want to make a
Wow.
point, like here,
compliment.
right? So, Arthur Lee Allen is the name of the guy who's supposedly the Zodiac. And one of the lines in the film, which in my opinion, it should be a very big red flag immediately, is, I am not the Zodiac, and if I were, I certainly wouldn't tell you.
I mean, it's not wrong.
It's
You
like,
wouldn't tell the police.
I didn't
unless
do
you're
it,
through a
and I'm not
complex
telling you if I did
system.
it. It's not, it's what a good movie though, good film. I'm trying to think of other, because that's Fincher, isn't it? That is David Fincher, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yeah, yes, it is. I'm trying to think of anything kind of like, not like that, but other than like Seven is another one that's very, very good, and that kind
Wait,
of.
we're just naming David Fincher.
I'm
films.
trying to think of other thrillers. like
Alien
Zodiac.
3.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Is Gone Girl
That's
him
the
as
one
well?
that's
I didn't
got-
realize Gone Girl was him as well. Bloody hell.
Yeah, that's like the most.
Gone Girl's a
Fincher of
book,
his
Gabriel,
films.
you idiot.
He's a very, very good director, man.
Gone Girl's
Um,
my favorite David Fincher film actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. I quite like the
I've
Social
only
Network.
seen Alien 3.
I quite
That
like
is
the
a
Social
classic
Network.
one,
I think
though.
that's probably my.
Do you know what? I think
favourite
that's like
one.
one of the only ones I actually haven't seen. So
It's really good. It's,
I keep
that's-
meaning to
that's
get
a
around
good
to it,
one.
but
That's a
every
really
time I
good
do,
one.
I'm like, oh, it's like.
Mark Zuckerberg's a weird guy, you know. Like
That's pretty much the reason I don't
Really?
want to watch it.
I like him in that movie, but he's a bizarre fellow. I love my favorite image of all of it. Everything he's ever done is the image of him with the sun cream on. I just think it's
the
so
surfboarding
funny.
one.
It's so funny that
Pedalboarding or whatever.
he looks insane.
Inhuman.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. Jimmy, can you
Some
put the
sort of
photo in here?
cryptid.
Put the photo in there. No.
Oh, I want the photo like right here. Put it over,
No,
put it over
I
your
will,
face.
I will.
It's just insane. Shall
There you go. If
we?
you haven't seen the photo of Mark Zuckerberg and his face,
Natural
then,
form.
yeah.
in his natural form.
without his makeup on.
Without his
it's,
makeup on. Yeah. Yep. Isn't he? He's one of the people claim to be like a lizard or an alien or some shit, right?
No, it makes sense.
That's the thing people
that
do.
checks out.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens came here to make huge social media giants.
Yeah.
That was their
I
plan
think-
all along.
I think like I was saying about you, Gabe. Like I'm not saying that it's true, but like if he was an alien, I probably would be surprised.
Yeah. All right, yeah, fair enough. I
I
like.
don't believe in it, but if it did
If
come
it
out,
did
I'd
come out,
probably
you'd be
go,
like,
See, like
yeah.
my thing is
Checks
like,
out.
Yeah,
I don't think that'd be a big like freak out either. Like, I think it's
No,
like,
no.
yeah, we know. Like,
Yeah.
it's chill. Like,
You know how people what's it called when he had to go to court, or is it federal court he had to go to for the whole Facebook ad thing?
Something like that.
That
Stood up
interview,
in
that
Congress,
thing
didn't he, or
is
something?
so funny. Watching Mark Zuckerberg explain how Facebook works to like a load of 70-year-old men, because they're like, "And how do you make money off the Facebook?" And he's like, "Well, we run ads," and they're like,
What
and
is
that
ads?
allows you to make your money, does it? And he's like, yeah, like that's how this works. Yes, yeah. I people push the.
Like adverts anywhere else.
I keep getting sent by Facebook notifications because I do the Instant Ravioli Facebook page, and I keep getting sending like notifications by Facebook being like, "You can boost this post to 1,000 people if you pay £10." Like,
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
no.
You know, the Twitter account still says a podcast with Gabriel Renner, Jimmy Rogers, Dan Sheldon, and Connor James.
Connor James, does it?
Nice.
Yeah. Also, it has like the first like artwork we did for the show.
Oh yeah, that one. I don't think I changed the logo on there yet, but yeah, no, yeah, that shows how much.
I think that's just
I was gonna say effort I put into the Twitter, but yeah, that lines up. That checks out very nicely.
the tweet.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the call's gonna end.
Oh, should we? I will start a new call, and then we'll
2 minutes.
and then we'll. Dan, do you want to do your famous Joe? So basically, we get Dan to say a word or a sentence, and we cut halfway through and cut back in
See,
the new
I
call.
thought of a really good idea. Why don't I just say the entire sentence both times?
Yeah, that would make sense because then Jimmy can do it. No, yeah, but it's
Way
funnier.
easier.
No, but it's funnier you stop.
Just
sorry,
layer
no,
them
no.
then.
We
It's
didn't
funny you
discuss this
stop here.
beforehand.
It's funny you
No,
stopping,
no,
and
no.
you also forget
That's
what
because
you
you
said.
Oh, I'm
turned up
sorry.
late,
I'm
Jimmy,
sorry.
and then went to get a muffin.
Go
So
on,
I didn't
Dan.
have a
What are you
chance
gonna?
to.
Are we gonna?
Yeah.
I don't know. I should really think of these beforehand because otherwise I just have to.
Sit there rubbing your head, wondering what's going on.
Yeah,
Why don't
yeah,
we ask?
maybe.
Why don't we ask our fabulous
Yeah,
guest if he
Joe,
has anything?
Yeah, Joe, have you
Do
got a
just wanna
sentence to say?
Say anything.
Say
Just
anything,
say
Joe.
a sentence and then be prepared to say it again in a couple minutes' time.
Oh, you put me on the
See, it's
spot there.
difficult, isn't it?
Yeah,
Speaking this entire time, and it's like, yeah, but I don't know what to say. Here, I've got something written on my board. It says, remember stats, tables, and formula sheet. There you
And
go,
just
Jimmy.
like that,
Easy
flawlessly,
stuff.
we're
I
back.
think the best thing about the continuity sentences is how, after I say them the second time, I then draw just so much attention to the fact that
You said
a
them.
huge edit has been made.
Yeah,
Effectively
yeah. In
defeating
case
the
you didn't
point in
know,
all
a
of the
cut
hard work
happened
I
there.
just
By the
did.
way, just so everyone knows,
It's
a cut
hard to
happened
tell,
there.
I know.
I know. Yeah. The only other thing I watched was I rewatched Deadpool 2,
Wow.
and it was absolutely fine.
Excellent work.
Dan, you've got a long list of things you've been watching.
Got a couple films.
Go on, rattle them
just
off,
a
and we'll just
few.
chat about those.
Okay. First thing, I watched The Watch. It's a comedy
The-
starring Ben Stiller, Vince
Oh.
Vaughn, Jonah Hill, and Richard Ayoade.
Oh,
I've
Ben
seen
Stiller
that,
makes
yeah.
Ben Stiller puts together a neighborhood watch, and then Aliens. That's the film. It's funny.
okay. All right. That's the movie. That's it.
That's the movie.
Right.
Next, where did I watch that? It was on Disney Plus. Most of these are on Disney Plus. Is where I watched them. Next thing, the Fright Night remake from 2011. Really good vampire film starring Anton Yelchin.
Okay. Yep.
Rest in peace.
Yep.
We miss you. Colin Farrell
Yep.
plays the vampire. He's a pretty sinister dude. Who else is in it? Tony Collette plays Anton Yelchin's mum. And David Tennant plays Peter Vincent, who's like this Vegas like performer who does these like fake vampire shows, but maybe he really believes in them. He's really good in it. It's a good film. Definitely, you
That's
should
on
watch
the
that.
poster.
That's exactly what
Yeah.
it says. They quoted me that several
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah. They were
Um,
like, "Oh my god, this guy, he knows. He
He
knows."
knows. It's a really all serious though. I think you should definitely watch it. It's quite tense and spooky at points. But yeah, a lot of fun. Good film. I should probably watch the original at some point.
Oh, is there an original?
Yeah, it's a remake of the film from the 80s, probably. Maybe the 70s.
That'll be
I don't know. I don't know. I've heard good things about it.
Okay, fair enough.
Next up, this one wasn't on Disney Plus. It was on Netflix. I watched Friday, starring Chris. Is his name Chris Tucker? Yeah, his name's Chris Tucker and Ice Cube. Really good film.
Yeah. I've had that on my list for a long time because apparently it's like a
well,
really loved
I
movie.
watched it first.
Okay.
It's a great film. It's as the name would suggest, it's set just on a Friday. Ice Cube he's just lost his job, so he's just hanging out with his mate Chris Tucker, and hijinks ensue. But it's almost entirely.
Who the fuck is that?
Hijinks ensue. Hijinks, as in something happens. Silly things. You're an idiot.
I know, it was a good joke. It was. Yeah.
The film is basically entirely set just in like the front garden of Ice Cube's.
His porch, right? On his porch.
Yeah, basically the entire thing. I mean, there's a couple bits else.
House?
Yeah, actual Ice Cube's house.
Because he has like 5 porches probably on his house. So.
Probably. I mean, this film was made a while ago. Probably didn't have quite as many back then. But really good. But yeah, a lot of. It's directed by F. Gary Gray.
Yeah.
Who
did
Straight Out Compton and a Fast and Furious film, possibly more.
Yeah, one of them at some point.
Pretty sure he did.
There's about 80 to choose from.
Yeah. Take a stab.
I made the point to Dan. The new one's just called F9 as well, which is so funny they've just given up to that degree now. They're just like, I can't be asked.
What's the one where the big final chase is on a runway?
That could be any of them, to be honest.
And they worked it out. I think it was in Empire or something. They worked out that like for how long they were on the runway doing this chase, the runway would have had to have been about 150 miles long or something like that.
Nice.
It's I think it's number 6 or 7.
People like that one, don't they?
I think it's 6 or 7. Yeah. It's the one with Gal Gadot. It's the one with Gal Gadot because she dies.
She in one. I didn't know that.
I actually want to talk about the new one for a bit.
Oh, why do we have to do that?
There's so many more things to talk about, Jimmy.
I don't
go
really
for it.
know anything about the new one, but apparently they're going to space, right?
No, I think that's the next one.
That's the next one,
Well, either way, the point still stands.
Yeah.
Why is everyone making such a big deal about it? Like, no film has ever been set. Like, they're not going to space. They're not
They're SpaceXing it.
Vin Diesel to space.
Vin Diesel is going into space with just a camera and no one else.
No, I don't get that.
You might survive. You probably
and
won't.
a Corona.
No,
he's up in space.
Furious is going to space.
It just pours out and it floats around.
No, but there's so many things.
It's like he's just there like, this is what we're not a brotherhood or whatever the fuck he says. We're family. Pours the Corona into the atmosphere.
What Jimmy is trying to say is, listen up, Hollywood. We've had enough of space.
We've had enough.
No more space films
space
ever.
Nonsense, all right? What even is it?
Yeah, what the?
What even is this space everyone's talking about?
It started with that film that they made in 1969, and to be honest, none of the space films have been good since.
Gary Gray apparently is announced he's doing a Mask film,
like
Mobile Armored Strike Command,
or like that one,
the cartoon guys.
The cartoon guys.
Mask, the cartoon. Not the Mask. That's.
I don't know what you're talking about. Then.
Okay, Mask the cartoon.
Are you referring to Son of the Mask?
No, yeah.
Is he remaking Son of the Mask?
What year is the animated one? It's 1980s,
actually,
isn't it?
That's actually if I ever get a good career going in filmmaking, if I don't make the HD remake to Son of the Mask, then
what's the point in all of this? Yeah.
Dan, that
film is very close to my heart. I've never seen it.
Dan, I'm going to drop
5 minutes of it.
I'm going to drop an image of Mask in the chat.
Sounds great, but
why?
There you
Mask.
go.
I'm not downloading a JPEG.
Stop sharing files because I actually put them up on the screen and I found that really difficult.
No, you don't have to put them up. It's fine. You don't have to put it up. The Mask is a kind of cool show-ish. They're in cars.
I don't believe you. I've never heard of it.
They're in cars that transform. That's pretty much it.
Oh, you mean
Transformers.
Transformers?
No, not into robots. They transform into other vehicles. That's pretty much it.
So they're Transformers, but bad.
Yes.
It's a triple changer without the robot part. It
Yeah.
could be a car or a different car.
car.
It just changes color. It's one of those like water sensitive
Water ones.
things.
Did you ever have them as a kid? I think I always wanted them as a kid and realised
I think I had
they make-
something.
they make no. You had some.
I had
think
something when
I
you put
owned a thing
yeah,
as
I'll
a
tell
kid.
you what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of I used to have a Grommet mug that when it got hot, the nose went red.
Oh.
I don't even know why. That's not something that Grommet does.
Yeah, no, I have
Yeah,
one
I
of
don't
those.
remember
as well.
Just Gromit have a
in-
famously red nose.
No, not really.
No,
you
you're
sure
getting
it wasn't
confused with
Rudolph?
Rudolph.
I don't know what
Yeah.
happened to my Grommet mug. I miss it though.
okay.
Okay.
I've
Can I
got
talk
a-
about some more films that I
No,
watched?
I want to
please?
do the mug talk now. That's what I'm interested in.
It's a good mug. My
Yeah.
granddad had one of those.
Go on,
He
Dan.
still
Continue with the
does,
film talk.
No, Jimmy's talking about his granddad's mug.
No, it's very it's a family relic. So
God,
that's
that
fake.
is
Get
the
out of
worst Timon
Yeah, no, get
or
out.
Pumbaa I've ever seen. I think it's Timon,
I
but
think
who
it's
gives a
Timon.
shit, really?
I think it's Timon.
Okay, we're doing.
I
we're doing
said it,
Wallace
and it
and-
didn't sound right. But
We're
then I
doing
said
Wallace and
Pumbaa, and that
Gromit
also
talk
sounded
here.
bad.
Dave.
And you
Yeah,
have the
Gabriel.
audacity to bring in.
Is that official
Lion
merchandise, or did you buy that from like some shop round the corner?
Well, the bottom of it has Disney thing on it, so I'm going to assume
Yeah,
so. But
official
I'm pretty
Disney
sure I
store
bought it
merch.
from Primark. So
Okay, no, they
Mm.
definitely sell things like that because I remember
Yeah.
seeing them when I went to France. I was like,
Anyways,
no, that seems like a bad idea to get a mug.
Dan, do you want to
Films,
get this
me
topic
watch.
back on? Yeah, get this show back
Let's
on
go.
track.
Okay,
Go
the
on.
next film I watched, probably my favorite film on this list. That sounded sarcastic. It wasn't supposed to be. I watched Con Air, starring
Oh,
Nicolas
okay.
Cage.
Okay.
Genuinely brilliant.
Yeah.
You know how like
The bunny back in the bag.
Nick Cage either makes really. I mean, they're always good to watch, but they're either really bad or really good.
Yeah.
This is one of the really good ones.
You've
It's
had some
genuine.
experiences with that bad one as well. You've had some
I
experience.
did, but I don't want to talk about. What the hell was that film called? I don't remember
I
anymore.
don't know. I
Um,
can't even remember the one I watched.
Knowing?
Called. What was it called? No,
I think the
Knowing
one was called Numbers.
Knowing was
Anyway,
Knowing was the one I watched.
is it?
I think so. Yeah. I'm gonna go find out now. Anyway,
Piece of
continue.
shit.
Continue.
Anyway, so it's Nicolas Cage is this. He's a retired like army ranger or something, and at the start of the film, he meets up with his wife for the first time after leaving the service, and he accidentally kills this guy that was like some dudes attack them, and he accidentally kills one of them. So he gets sent away. His wife is pregnant. He's excited to leave. You know, there's a 15-year time jump. So he goes in this plane with a bunch of other convicts who are going to other prisons. He's
Wait,
catching
wait,
a
wait,
lift.
Hold on. So I'm confused. So
Hang on.
he killed someone.
He
went to
accidentally-
jail.
Yeah,
15 years he went to jail.
yeah. That's
Is
the
his wife
very
pregnant
like,
when he goes to jail.
you know,
or is
his wife was
when he's-
pregnant. Was pregnant just before he goes to jail.
Right, because I was gonna say it would be pretty awkward if he was in jail and she
Then
happened to
she
get
goes-
pregnant.
yeah. No, but anyway, so yeah, he gets put on this plane that's taking other convicts to new jails. He's just catching a ride. So, but he gets taken over by the criminals. The main criminals are John Malkovich, Ving Rhames, and Dave Chappelle.
What?
It's
And
brilliant.
it's
It
also,
sounds dumb.
All right.
Danny
greatest
Trejo's in
criminals.
it as well.
Yeah, Danny Trejo is in
damn.
it as a terrible person.
Yeah.
He's like called like Johnny 23 or something. I don't want to explain
His
what the
surname
23
is
means.
23.
Well, 23 is to do with the number of crimes he committed, but it's not a very nice crime, so I'm going to stop there.
He
All right,
committed
okay.
3 accounts of jaywalking.
It's the worst crime.
Yeah, one of the worst
Okay,
crimes that
okay.
isn't like
Yeah.
murder or.
Oh, very bad then. Yeah, no.
yeah,
that's fine.
okay. Steve Buscemi is there as this just
Oh,
insane
what a man.
serial killer.
Oh,
And John Cusack is this federal like marshal or something.
just something honestly, I don't know what it is, but I love John Cusack in most things he makes. Like he's fucking class. He's so good as an actor. He's brilliant.
But like, yeah, he's a guy on the ground who's like,
Dan,
it's
was the
like,
movie
okay,
you
we gotta get
watched
this done.
next?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to
Was
talk
his
more
name
about Con
Chris?
Air.
Was his name Chris Johnson with no H?
How the
Yeah,
hell
it is.
would
A
I
Las
know?
Vegas magician who can see into
Yeah,
the
okay,
future
that's
is
right.
pursued
Shut
by
up about
FBI
that.
agents.
Chris Johnson
Because-
is definitely an NFL player.
Yeah, with no H as well. Anyway, Dan, sorry, continue.
Con Air has one of the most surprisingly like progressive depictions of a trans woman in any film I've ever seen, and this is a
Okay.
Nicolas Cage action film that came out
When
in
did this film come
1997.
out?
Jet, right? So, no one like treats her like badly or anything because it's a trans woman. Everyone uses the right pronouns.
My God.
Everyone just acts like, you
Good
know,
on
it's just,
them. Yeah.
it's just so weird. The only problem with it is it's just they're played by just a male actor. It's not an actual trans actor.
Right.
Okay.
That's like, because I watched it and I
Baby steps, right?
Yeah,
This is-
because I was so interested because I was like, oh, this seems like quite progressive. And so I looked up to see what like trans people thought, because obviously, you know, their opinion is more important on this than mine.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's a really good depiction of
see.
trans people. I was like, wow, good on you, Con Air.
Yeah, good on you. Good on you, Simon West. That's the
And
director.
here is my the finish to my theory on Con Air being the greatest movie ever made.
I genuinely, it's on Disney Plus. You should definitely watch it.
I'm
It's
gonna go
also
give
got
this
the-
a watch tonight. I think
It's
It's
great.
got the
Dave.
best
I
kind
think
of
you'll like
credits.
Yeah.
Where it's like it shows like a very small clip of the character in the film, and then it gives the character name and the actor name, and it's
Okay.
got good music playing, and I love that.
Cool. Yeah.
It's like it's sort of similar to the credits from the first Predator film.
Right.
It's not quite as jokey when they're all like winking to camera and stuff. It's
Like
just
Too
clips
Many
from the film.
Cooks. You ever seen that? The Adult
Yeah,
Swim thing.
yeah,
That's,
yeah.
That's sick.
But
Too
yeah,
many
genuinely, watch Con Air.
God,
Brilliant.
there are a
film.
lot of famous people in this movie.
I know.
There's a lot of them. Ving Rhames is here.
Cole Meany is in it, who plays Miles O'Brien in Star Trek: The Next Generation and Deep
Plays Miles
Space Nine.
Morales and stuff.
Damn.
Yep.
If only
okay,
everything
next-
Nick Cage made was this good.
He
Everything
makes
Nick Cage
enough.
makes is good. Gabe.
Nick-
He's made
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
good, actually good films that I think it's all right.
Yeah.
The next thing I watched, my favorite
Come on,
Die
Dan,
Hard.
I've only said one of my things. I watched like one episode or something. Jesus.
I watched 8 films.
I may have just thrown my lens cap up into the air expecting to catch
You
it. And
idiots.
instead, it just landed. Anyway, go on. Sorry, you're gone.
I watched my favorite Die Hard film, Die Hard with a Vengeance. It's the third one.
The third one, yeah.
It's
Die
got
Hard is a
Samuel
nice
L. That's it's just set in New York. Okay,
I
so
actually haven't. Oh fucking hell! Here we go again. Okay, go on.
also on Disney Plus. I don't mind Die Hard 2, but it is too similar to the first Die Hard to be as interesting, I feel.
Yeah.
But so the original director came back
That's
for
an
this
interesting
one,
game.
I
and
know.
it's more of a sequel to the first Die Hard film.
Okay.
So the villain is Simon Gruber, who is the younger or older brother of
he's
Hans,
yeah.
and he's messing about with John McClane, and he's getting him to do things. And
Like a cat with a toy. Come on.
basically,
Come on.
just terrorizing him. There's a
Just,
lot
like,
of bombs
Throwing
involved.
stones at like walls and stuff, just like hanging out in the park.
Yeah.
Keeps
but
ringing
anyway,
his
and then-
doorbell and running away.
And then Samuel Jackson,
about,
whose
you know.
character is called Zeus, is just a dude that
What?
sort of gets. He's called Zeus, like
Bloody
the
hell.
god.
Oh,
It's a
Zeus,
cool
Gabe,
name.
Come on.
What?
He just
On Gabe.
Sorry.
he just sort of gets dragged into this, like he's not a policeman or anything.
Right.
And
Okay.
he just and Simon is getting them to do a bunch of like tasks and stuff so bombs don't blow up.
Are you
And
sure
maybe
this
there are
isn't
other
Saw
things
2?
going on. Yeah,
Okay.
it's really
Oh, it
good.
is, yeah.
Another thing I wrote, only thing that I wrote down about the film, which I thought was weird, but I mean, who really cares? Both of the 2016 presidential candidates are mentioned, just randomly. They said, well, this was made in 1995, but both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are mentioned by name. Just
Why?
a fun fact, I thought.
Fair enough.
Well, because obviously they're famous people.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I suppose so.
Donald
Yeah.
Trump was being businessman. I think at this point, Bill must have been running for president.
I think he was in office.
Or
by
was
that
it?
point.
Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
what, 94 to 98 or something like that. Not quite, because
93.
I don't know.
think. Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know,
Yeah,
Um,
stuff happened.
Yeah.
Next film, here we go. I watched Predators, which is the third one that they made in a few years ago. Not the really bad one that came out recently, but the not massively great kind of bad
All
one.
right,
that
Dan. Jesus Christ.
out.
Predator 3. Just.
Anyway, it's fine. You know.
2010, Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
For some reason, Adrian Brody is doing
What,
this
Adrian
weird.
Brody's in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you
He's
did mention
doing this
that. I'm interested now.
Weird, like tough guy voice. It's sort of somewhere between Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and Christian Bale doing Batman, and he just sounds bad.
Okay. All right.
It's like the gruffness of the voice shouldn't be coming out of somebody the size of Adrian Brody because he's not
Yeah.
a big guy.
No.
He doesn't look very like threatening.
No, it's just 50 like the like first half an hour of the film is just people. So it's set in this jungle.
Well,
It's an
Mahershala Ali's
alien
in it as
jungle, by
well.
the way. Yeah. And the first, like, honestly, it's just for half an hour, people just like anxiously turning towards things. Like people will be talking, and then there'll be a noise over here, and they're like, just happens so many times.
Someone else responding to the thing they said. They just turn around like.
That should be the bit at the start, like all of us just anxiously looking at something. Like,
yeah, it
all
should
on
be.
cue.
Yeah, that should be our cold open. It's just Dan.
Yeah,
just
just edit
Let's
it.
do
Just
it. No,
move that.
let's do that. Let's do that. All right.
All
I'm
right.
just like.
Okay, wait.
go.
What way is everyone facing? I'm facing this
I
way.
know.
It doesn't matter as long as you turn towards the camera.
All right, so we're all having
I'm gonna go the
conversations.
opposite.
We're all having conversations here, and then in 3, 2, 1, we all.
Oh, I
turn.
did it too early.
No, leave that.
It'd be
That's
great.
perfect. That's what we're having. Thank you. Wonderful job, everyone.
Great.
I don't really like the big predators. Their heads, they don't look like predators, apart from like the
I
mandibles.
need to go find a photo of these fucking
A
things.
mandibles, who?
Yeah, you know the like claw mouth things that predators have.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have
Yeah,
a
those
mouth.
are called
Yeah.
mandibles. They have a mouth just behind these things. Yeah, I don't mind the idea of there being like bigger, stronger predators, but like, why do they look so different?
What about the idea that the predators want to kidnap and take
I
with them
don't-
a
that-
little boy because
there's
the
a-
that
boy
film sucks,
has
Gabriel.
autism?
I
and
don't wanna
therefore
talk
that's
about
the
that
That's the
film.
next version of the human race, Dan.
There's
So
like a real,
bad,
like,
that one.
trend of like films like that where they just have to like in the sequels make the like aliens or the predators even bigger and like scarier. Like they're just like scary enough, right? Like it's
They're
Yeah.
bad, and they're now back, worse than ever. They're gonna
It's like,
eat
oh,
your
look.
face off.
I think it's
It's
just
not
because
the
we've been
xenomorph. It's the
desensitized so much.
exorcism.
Yeah.
though,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
weird.
It's like look at horror movies from the 50s. I mean, they were like literally
A
the
train
worst
coming at a
stuff. People
screen.
went to
No,
cinemas and cried. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
exactly.
And now you watch it and you're. It's very strange.
yeah.
But now you
Even
have
to an
have,
extent, like you go back and watch.
no, but like you watch like those, and then you watch like Saw.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
that's what Joe's saying. Is
how
like the
far have we
yeah
come,
the
like, you know what I mean?
desensitized like
Yeah,
yeah.
everyone is normal with that now.
You have to like have like more and more each time, but like
mm.
if you just
Well, it
Um,
was sort of like after the advent of like TV, and then people could see we watched JFK getting shot, and
Exactly,
all
yeah.
of the reporting of the Vietnamese
Oh,
War.
classic
This is
episode,
It didn't
that
make me
one.
laugh. It's the
This
idea
isn't
of
a
being
joke,
like,
this is-
what? Rewind that shit. I want to watch that. No,
this
yeah,
is actual
you're right.
stuff
you're right.
that I
yeah.
studied in media. This is the most
Yeah.
like actual anything I've ever said that it
Oh,
has
okay.
any real weight to it, apart from that stuff about the trans woman in Con Air.
Yeah. Okay,
Like this is
okay.
genuinely,
Let him talk,
you know-
man. All right, let him talk.
we started seeing actual real violence on TV. It wasn't just films and stuff, and it was way worse than any of the films that were being made.
They're
So
all you see, you know.
yeah, there's violence
Movies.
in movies and sex on
Sex
TV.
Yeah.
But where are those good old fashions?
That we used
God,
to.
I just had a
The
stroke.
which used to rely.
Whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Lucky
But
he's
yeah,
a family
so
guy.
And so yeah, it was just
What
this
the
huge.
fuck is
just-
going on outside my? I think
I
it's someone's
heard that.
brakes, but
Jay.
it sounds like an elephant. I keep just hearing it, and I'm like, what?
Dan
Some
is,
sort of
Dan
ghostly
is,
vision.
Dan
It's
is
also shitting it down with rain
bearing his
outside.
soul to us. Can you?
Yeah.
Sorry,
come
yeah.
It
on.
is, isn't it?
I'm trying to
Gabe?
talk
Yeah, it's
about.
shitting it
Oh,
down with
yeah.
rain.
I already
Yeah.
had that. I had that this morning, so suck it.
Sorry,
I
Dan's got
haven't
like
either.
9 more projects to talk about. My bad. Sorry.
I've got
Dan.
one more
I don't
film
have
to
any
All right,
more
go on,
notes,
Dan, go on.
sorry,
I just
feel like
quick.
that's
There's a weird twist villain in Predators that's just completely unnecessary. Anyway, the last film I watched.
Wait, what
Watched
we
it
talking
last
about JFK? What's happened?
No,
Well-
shut up, Jimmy. Shut up, Jimmy.
Desensitized horror films got
Right.
more violent and shit. That's
Yeah.
basically what happened, and it just
Psycho
kept
Ball.
going from there. And then yeah. Anyway, last night I watched the 2004 live-action Thunderbirds film, which is a film from
Yay.
my childhood, which I freaking love. It was
It's very good.
easily my best favorite film growing up, and I was looking at it on IMDb. It's got 4.3 because it's just a bunch of 60-year-old men being like, "This isn't like the puppet show I used to watch 60 years ago, so it's bad." And I'm like, "Shut up, man! It's a
The
good film."
puppet show.
Well, yeah, that's what Thunderbirds
No,
was.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You're not wrong.
Is that the one that Busted did the music for, or the theme
Yes,
song for?
I wrote that down. The Busted song, so good. Like,
Can you do a Dan? So we don't get copyright. Can you? Do
Can
like
you-
A little, like,
I'm
can you sing
not
it for
singing
us?
I
the
mean,
song.
Joe's the
Dan,
musician
come
here,
on.
but still, it would be a bit weird for me to turn around to Joe back and you didn't have the busted fucking
No,
song
but
from
that's
the
thing. I don't want Joe to do it
Thunderbirds
because
movie.
I know that he would do it better than Dan will.
Wow,
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 okay.
Jimmy,
We will get
rude.
copyright strikes.
wow, Jimmy.
But you know, and another complaint is that like they made the kids the main characters, but it's like it's a kids film. Shut up! What are you talking about?
Yeah,
But it's really good. Bill Paxton is great in it.
Ben Kingsley as well.
Ben Kingsley is the Hood,
Yeah,
and honestly, more sinister villain than the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. They got similar vibes,
yeah,
but the Hood is scarier.
scarier.
The
Yeah.
only time I ever saw that film was I was on a ferry to Holland when I was like 7, and we were watching it on this like on cinema on the boat, and I was
yeah.
so seasick that I like ran out the cinema
Ah.
growing up.
You
It
got to
was-
watch it again. It's so good.
It,
I mean,
it actually, little does Joe know, it
if you-
actually wasn't the seasickness.
Yeah,
it was
it
the
was-
movie that made Joe throw up everywhere. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's probably not as good as I think because I just have insane nostalgia for it.
No, yeah,
But
it's the same with like Transformers 1986 for me is the one that like I'll go back and
It's-
watch and be like, it's amazing.
it's
But
I love it. It's so good. I
Yeah.
mean, I used to have. Well, I probably still do have in my house somewhere. I have this little
The
toy
fun-
of
don't you have
Tracy
the-
Island,
yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
that's I
Various
had,
Oh,
little
yours as well.
Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
and like you could take the pieces out, and there was like a walkie-talkie international
No, I
rescue
had,
thing on the
like- I
inside.
had like this one with like all like the little individual like like Thunderbird 2, which is the green one, right?
Yeah, the big green one.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
had like the little like 3 individual containers that you could like
Oh yeah.
place and stuff.
You
and
could
then,
put
like,
like the
Man, we-
mole
like
or
a
the
little
fun
runway
or
and
the
everything.
Thunderizer in it.
I love when we get on the when we start an episode and we end up somehow on like toys and shit. Like we've done it with Lego so many times where we're like, this was great. I had this. Like it's what it should be.
Have
man.
you
Trying to
seen this film,
remember.
Gabe?
I haven't seen this thing before.
It's on
no.
Netflix.
I'll give it a
mean,
watch. I
you
saw
probably
you
won't
watched it the
enjoy
other
as much
day,
as I
but
do,
I will give
but
it a watch. 'Cause
Definitely watch it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Go on, Joe. You were going to
What were
say?
you gonna say?
I was just saying, I'm trying to remember what all the Thunderbirds were. So Thunderbird 1 was the
Thunderbird
like,
one's
blue-
the silver and blue one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the grey one.
Two's
Thunderbird
the
2
green
big
one.
green.
Yeah.
3 is the red
the rocket.
spaceship
Yeah,
one.
Yeah.
4 is the
4 is the
blue?
yellow
It's the water.
submarine.
Oh no.
Four's
Okay,
the
right.
water
That's
The
one.
little one
was,
that can
yeah.
also go
And then
inside a
5 is
Thunderbird.
the
5 is the
like,
satellite.
space satellite thing. Yeah.
Damn.
Nice.
Even if you don't watch the
Yeah.
entire
No.
film,
Like no.
just,
Like yeah.
just watch the opening credits
Okay,
and then listen
alright.
to the song. The
Alright,
Busted
I'm
song.
looking forward to this. I'm very much looking forward. I really like the catchy tagline they put on the poster. Climb into the driver's seats of the most advanced rescue vehicles on the planet.
Hey, it's
Hell
2004.
yes.
Give it a break.
Hell
Also,
yes.
it's directed by Jonathan Frakes, who played
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Riker
just saw
in
that. Saw
Star
that.
Trek: The Next
It was
Generation.
like that's an interesting name I remember from
Yeah.
something. But yeah, that's why
well,
I just saw it.
he directed. I think he directed Star Trek Nemesis, which is the last of the
Yeah.
Star Trek films that aren't the new ones.
He also
Um,
acts in it.
well, of
Yeah.
course he does.
Yeah,
He's
you
Riker.
big
Yeah.
dumb, you
You idiot.
dumb head, huh?
Also, I will say another thing. This is more about the Thunderbirds DVD than it is the actual film.
Go on.
You know how like they used to put effort into menu screens and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
And this was
yeah.
also back when they put actual stuff on just a normal DVD,
Yeah,
like
like
behind the scenes
behind the
stuff.
scenes stuff. Yeah.
The menus and stuff, it's supposed to sort of almost look like the cockpit of a
Yeah.
Thunderbird. It's brilliant. And like, you go to a different menu and it switches what Thunderbird you're in. I love
That's
this
pretty
film
cool.
so much.
Dude,
It's so good.
do you guys
Love that.
remember? Did you ever have the DVD for X-Men: The Last Stand?
I have it, yeah.
Yeah, I have
haven't
it.
watched it in
Yeah.
a long
You
time.
can like change the theme of the menu to like the X-Men or the bad the X-Men. I don't know
The
more
bad-
for-
The other-
yeah,
the
the other
Brotherhood.
ones,
The Brotherhood,
bad- the
of
bad
mutants.
That's
Or-
there's some. That's a bad movie. Jimmy, you've got one more thing I believe to throw out there.
Yeah,
You
Is it
watched-
Thunderbirds? Did you also watch Thunderbirds?
Did you watch
I watched
Thunderbirds? Yeah,
No,
or
I need
X-Men
to
Last
come in,
Stand?
I need to go soon because my sister's ill and I need
Okay,
to look after her.
Go.
I watched Sound of Metal.
What?
Sound of Metal.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You didn't. I'm
Why'd
pretty sure
you
he said
say it
he
like that?
said one
Son of
word.
Mel.
Son of Mel, and everyone went, huh?
That's my inner
Like,
Essex coming
excuse
out.
me?
Sound of Metal.
It was. What do
Yeah.
you think?
It was good. Yeah. I felt like it ended like quite abruptly. I think it was meant to, but it just didn't work for me. But apart from that,
Fair.
it's really good.
Yeah, I know. I think my father watched it the other day, and he absolutely
I trouble
adored
is
it.
my
Thought it was
speakers
great
didn't
fun.
work, and some bits just had like no sound. It was really weird.
Oh yeah, that's
it-
that's
yeah,
a
oh, yeah.
funny joke
Just kept
because the
cutting out.
man
I
goes
just
deaf.
couldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Yep, funny banter.
It's like Whiplash, but without the sound. Except
that should
without-
go-
the only similarity is that it has drums.
drums in it,
yeah.
before
They
we
should do like a film like that, but like about a blind person. So just half of it, there's just no footage. It's just a black screen.
When are we gonna get a Stevie Wonder biopic, which is it's just soundtrack? It's just,
It's like the
audio
it's,
book.
it's the inverted silent film.
it's like, do you ever do you guys remember like back when you used to play like CDs on your computer and you'd have that weird like luminous like fucking
yeah.
background thing going on while
screensaver
the
kind
music
of
would
thing.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
as it was. It's just that for 2 hours. That's all it is. It's that for 2 hours. Okay, before we wrap
It's
things
raw,
up.
unedited day in the life of Stevie Wonder. Just like him like getting up and making coffee and stuff. You just like
Before we wrap everything up, I want to give a quick shout out to a friend of mine who is doing this clothing stuff. She still has some left over. They're really cool and they're actually really, really high quality and lovely. And so I said I'd give a shout out to them because she's helped me some stuff lately and they're really sick. So
Are you gonna say anything
Go check 'em
beyond
out.
here's a shirt? I mean, you're gonna give us
Made
a
by
name
Mads
or
on
anything,
Instagram.
Gabriel,
If
moron?
you Made by Mads, I think it is what it is on Instagram. If you, I might get Jimmy to put the link in the description below if that's all right with you, Jimmy. And yeah, go check them out. There's some stock, they're limited stock, and there's some left over in I think every size currently. But yeah, go check them out. They're very, very cool. You can get them in black or purple text.
Wow.
I know. Wow. Joe, thank you very much for being here. Where can the people find you other than Facebook, Joe Anderton and connorselby.co.uk or com?
.net.
Is .net. Or is there anywhere else they can find you or things you're doing?
The bookies.
Yeah, yeah. They can find you in all of the bookies.
Any Paddy Power.
Are they even reopen at the moment?
They're everywhere.
Are they even
Yeah, I think
open?
they are.
Are they open?
I think they're open from next week.
ConnorSelby.com.
Is it connorselby.com?
Yes,
That's
it is. ConnorSelby.com. There we go.
Let's edit
Nice,
this so
.com.
Yeah.
I make it look like I know.
Yeah,
exactly what
yeah,
the
yeah,
web-
yeah. Yeah.
connorselby.com.
.com. Yeah, there you go, people. There you go. And all the dates and things are on there as well.
Yeah, and we've got
Um,
obviously the new album coming out. We've got T-shirts if you want them, I
There you
think.
go.
Yeah. we
So
got it
many
all-
things.
Got it made.
Our viewers have a
yeah.
lot of T-shirts to buy, huh?
Yeah, go buy
Yeah.
t-shirts,
Oh, yeah.
people. Go
Buy
support
'em.
people,
Go
man.
get some T-shirts.
Go
Well,
do that.
On
I don't
behalf
need
of
more
myself,
t-shirts at all.
Thanks for having me on, guys. It's been
Oh, thanks for coming.
it's been
No,
good. to
yeah,
just
thanks for
mash
coming,
up, to be
man. We
honest.
we
Like,
enjoy. I think these are my favorite episodes where it's just kind of an hour and a half of us just being like, let's just chat about nonsense. Today
Yeah.
we've
Let's talk about everything that I've watched and nothing else.
and nothing else
Half
because
an
Dan
hour.
watches 8 things. So let's
talk
do
about
it.
Dan recapping Con Air for like.
Well, I said to you in the week, Gabe, about it. I said I'd rather not come and talk about music, to be honest.
Yeah,
and
you'd rather just come
do
out and
that
laugh.
enough.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's cool. That works very nicely. That's a good way of doing everything. I feel like also like when we have Vittorio on, for example, I don't think me and Jimmy we've never tried to make it about comedy, even though that's what he does for a living. We're just like, no, we'll just chat, and then if we end up talking about that on the side, that's always
Mainly 'cause,
wonderful.
Like, you don't support him, right, Gabe? Is what you said
not
to
at
me.
all. No, not at all. That being said, actually, go check out he just released some dates he's doing. I think this month when things reopen. I think he's got a mini kind of like little tour going on around London. So go check those dates out. I put a thing on my Instagram the other day about it. But yeah, thank you very much everyone for watching. We're gonna be back.
Oh,
We're gonna
yeah.
we're on a week's break next week, and then we'll be
Wow.
back afterwards because
That gives me so much time to watch films.
watch so many things
Oh.
because
16 films this time.
because yeah, everyone's a bit busy at the moment. I know me and June both have some deadlines we got to go meet. So Jimmy
Yeah, and
has
I'm not
not
doing
left.
anything.
Jimmy probably
I
hasn't
definitely
left
don't
that
have anything
computer.
going
No, yeah, Dan's definitely got nothing going on.
I'm fine.
Jimmy has not left that computer probably now in like 38 hours, something ridiculous.
Oh, also wait, because we're not doing one next week.
Yeah.
21st of May. I should have said this at the beginning of the episode. 21st of May is when a new thing is coming out. So
There is
Oh,
one.
is that your thing?
keep an eye on that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, for sure. Do that.
If you're
What's I'm confused. What's happening?
Jimmy
okay.
has a certain thing in the works in the edit. I'm in it.
Wow,
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it. Then.
Don't watch it. It's
No,
a fucking shambles.
You
then-
gotta work
out.
on your casting, Jimmy.
I think I will. Yeah.
It depresses
He's
me
cheap,
that
you know, Dan. He's cheap.
I used to have I liked the track
You
record
got
of
your
everything
face
I
off.
made. Everything I made would have Dan in at some point. I quite like doing that, but because now Dan, you're in another city, it's a little hard to do that. To be like,
Rude.
shit.
Make it a COVID thing, all on a Zoom call.
All
you
on.
can get me in.
Nope. I hate that. Please, people,
No, that's
stop.
the best kind of entertainment.
Other than
Stop doing
did you
cancer. I need
did
to
you guys
feed my
watch? Did you
sister.
guys watch Stage?
No.
Is it Stage, the one with David Tennant and?
You can't introduce a new thing you've
I
watched.
watched
now,
that. It's
Gabriel.
fucking class. Ages ago, really good on Zoom. Other than that, don't make films on Zoom. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. You can check everyone else and everyone's links out in the description below. I'm gonna go eat. Jimmy's gonna go look after his dying sister, and Dan is gonna go and get food as well. I imagine.
Revise. I gotta revise. I should have been revising this morning.
Oh,
I just
goody.
didn't. I couldn't be
Joe, what are you
bothered.
gonna go do?
Eat.
Nice, cool, same things.
I
Sweet.
might
Thank
eat
you.
first.
Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.